regular season game of the 1989 season. I'm Charles Head along with Coach Mac Poss. Tonight we're in Hartwell at Hart County High School, Herndon Stadium here in Hart County, as the Hart County Bulldogs take on the visiting Stevens County Indians. Coach, it's good to be here tonight in Hart County.
We're in a sea of orange over here where we're located. There's a sea of red located across the field from the faithful, Stevens County fans. You mentioned, Charles, that this was the last regular season ball game, but isn't it altogether fitting and proper that on this last regular season ball game we have the opportunity to televise a sub-region championship game?
It is outstanding tonight. It's always a heated rivalry anyway, Hart County and Stevens County, and then tonight, extra special thrown in, as you say. It's the sub-region championship and a chance for home field advantage in the playoffs that come up starting next week.
Well, certainly Hart County has just had an incredible year. They've had good leadership, from their senior ball club. Their younger players have really rallied, to the leadership of their seniors, and they've just come on and just had a superb season. Stevens County, their record is not really an indication of the caliber of football that they have played, even though they don't have, the most enviable record in the business. Nevertheless, it's for the sub-region championship, and even with Stevens' up and down season as they have had, be it injury, be whatever it might have been, it's wonderful, Coach Walker was sharing, just to have the opportunity to be playing for a championship.
We'll be back with the starting lineups of tonight's game in just a moment, and we'll be welcoming both these teams onto the field. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
Let's celebrate Christmas with a Hanna-Barbera home video holiday spectacular. You'll love a Jetson Christmas Carol. Join the Jetsons and Mr. Spacely for a festive Christmas party. And you'll enjoy Yogi Bear's all-star comedy Christmas caper. Come along with Yogi Bear and Boo Boo as they reveal the true meaning of Christmas. Now, for a limited time, you can order a Jetson Christmas Carol and Yogi Bear's all-star comedy Christmas caper. Call now and you'll also receive How the Flintstones Saved Christmas. It's going to be a yabba-dabba-doo Yule time with these 3 special holiday videos for $29.95. There's more. With each video, you'll also get a sing-along songbook of favorite Christmas carols. Call now and take Hanna-Barbera home for the holidays with these 3 special videos. Order now.
Call 1-800-762-1150. That's 1-800-762-1150. You'll get 3 videos and the holiday songbooks. Call now.
Always nice, the hospitality that Coach Pate and the staff afford us here at Hart County High School. Nice vantage point that we have right on the 50-yard line to view these games. And it's always nice to have our sideline camera and cameraman, John Arundel, in the booth with us up here at Hart County. So good football action as we're set waiting for both teams to come onto the field. The Hart County players are coming onto the field just about now. They'll be coming out and breaking through their barriers any moment. They come out with a big flag proclaiming them as the Hart County Bulldogs. Let's start off tonight's starting lineups by looking at the visiting Stevens County Indian offensive lineup for tonight. At tight end, number 85, Euricus Wiley, 190-pound senior. At the right tackle, number 71, Chris Alewine, a 203-pound senior. At right guard, number 56, Bobby Breedlove, a 180-pound senior. At center, number 55, Doug Mayfield, a 225-pound senior. At left guard, number 72, Henry Powell, a 205-pound senior. At left tackle, number 63, Chad Andrews, a 180-pound junior. At split end, number 3, Jason Oliver, a 152-pound junior. Quarterbacking tonight, number 1, Chip Walker, a 145-pound senior. At the halfbacks, number 24, Chris Griffin, a 171-pound junior. The other half, Jabbar Wiley, number 31, a 198-pound junior. And at the fullback, number 35, Brian Kraft, a 185-pound senior. The starting offensive alignment for the Stevens County Indians.
Okay, for the Indians defense of Coach Rodney Walker, at defensive end, number 43, Sean Hancock, 212-pound senior. Defensive tackle, number 54, or number 36, James Singleton. He'll be wearing both numbers, 262-pound junior. At middle guard, number 51, Chad Payne. He's a junior, 185 pounds. At defensive tackle, number 74, Tommy Allen, 176-pound junior. At defensive end, Antonio Martin, number 83, 160-pound junior. At linebacker, number 44, Brian Rogers, 175-pound senior. At the other backer, number 20, Mark Adderholt, 155-pound junior. At cornerback, number 3, Jason Oliver, 152-pound senior. At the other corner, number 23, Marcus Dixon, 172-pound senior. Number 14, Scott Payne, will man one of the safeties, 160-pound junior. And at the other safety, number 42, Keith Merritt, 171-pound senior. Also slated for duty, number 2, Marcus Riley, 165-pound sophomore.
For the Hart County Bulldog offense, at tight end, number 13, Jason Kraft, 185-pound junior. At right tackle, number 76, Jay Blackman, a 215-pound sophomore. At right guard, number 64, Nathan Skelton, 170-pound senior. At center, number 50, Jason Ramsey, a 200-pound sophomore. The left guard, number 56, Jay Floyd, a 200-pound senior. At left tackle, number 78, Jeff Floyd, a 215-pound senior. At split end, number 84, Mike Gaines, 170-pound senior. At quarterback, number 14, Sonny Spurlock, 170-pound senior. At the fullback, number 32, Tracy Curry, 170-pound senior. The tailback, number 26, Tim Johnson, 190-pound senior. And the flanker, number 24, Ryan Brannick, 160-pound junior. That's the starting offense for the Bulldogs of Hart County.
Okay, for the defensive Bulldogs, who have just had a fantastic year, at outside linebacker, number 33, Mike Curry, 160-pound senior. At defensive tackle, Mike Roebuck, 6'1", number 90, 200-pound senior. At guard, number 70, Chip Malden, 185-pound senior. At the inside guard, number 61, 210-pound senior, Stan Sayer. At defensive tackle, number 27, Billy Joe Rucker, 190-pound junior. At outside linebacker, number 35, Mr. Hustle, 5'5" of dynamite, Jamal Hopper, 140-pound senior. At inside linebacker, number 28, the all-time leading tackler for Hart County, Stacy Jones, senior, 215 pounds. At the other backer, Stephen Smith, number 40, 200-pound sophomore. At cornerback, number 21, Kevin Marsh, player of the week last week for the Athens Daily News, Anderson Independent, 150 pounds, 5'10", a junior. At the other corner, Nelson Hunt, number 12, 150-pound senior. At the safety, number 16, and one of the captains along with Stacey Jones, Russell Blackwell, 160-pound senior.
The coin toss going on at midfield. The Stevens County Indians have won the coin toss. They defer to the second half, and I believe they will be kicking. Let's see if that's correct. Yes, Hart County will be receiving in the first half. So it's Stevens County Indians, Hart County Bulldogs. A tremendous rivalry, and tonight's game, of course, means home field advantage in the region playoffs, and it also means the victor of the sub-region. So it's a big game, even though both teams already assured a spot in the playoffs.
Certainly, you know, it's a tremendous crowd here from Stevens County, and certainly a fantastic crowd here, you know, for the favored Hart County Bulldogs also tonight in their sea of orange. And isn't it altogether fitting and proper also, Charles, that two communities who several years ago, you know, were 2-8 on their seasons, have turned around and have vied for the championship, you know, the last few years. Certainly is very good to be here at Hart County. The very fine hospitality, you know, that Coach Bobby Pate provides, and so good to see Dr. Fred McManus, you know, the fine principal they have here at Hart County, and this is what it's all about. Friday night, great night for football. The stands are packed. It's not only that, it's a championship ball game. On top of that, you got Hart County Bulldogs and the Stevens County Indians.
Coach, I can't help but remember one night when we were in Coach Pate's locker room after the game was over in his office, and a rather large roach bug came across the floor after one of the defeats here at Herndon Stadium. This was several years ago, and I remember Coach Pate looking over at that bug, and he says, "Suit that sucker up. We need some big fellas on our team." And what a turnaround that it's been since those days here at Hart County High School. school. Hart County 8-1 on the year at this point, and their only loss coming to Greene County. But Hart County, a tremendous year they've had so far.
Well, Coach Rodney Walker and Coach Pate both will tell you, that it's a tribute to both of these communities to rally behind them. Tribute to their assistant coaches, Charles, that do a fantastic job of preparation every week. And, the support, and then the young men themselves, all of it brings about, success.
Kevin Eby set to kick off for the Indians, and our game is underway tonight. Going to be taken at the 15-yard line.
Antonio Martin going down for the specialty team, making the tackle on Brian Brannock.
And with Hart County tonight in their all-black uniforms, their numbers have changed significantly over what's in the program, so you'll forgive us if we call some numbers wrong tonight.
Hart County primarily will be employing a pro-set offense, Charles. Stevens County will be countering with their normal, five-man front, two backers inside, and also we have a little clock problem.
Clock seems to want to go in the opposite direction.
Go the other way. He wants to be 12:02. Stevens County clad in the silver breeches and the white jerseys. Hart County, we have seen them notably. Charles, I believe it was the Elbert County ball game maybe that we saw them clad in their all black. Just had a great year.
Coach, this is getting to be a regular thing. Last week, Stevens County was clad in all black at the Indian Reservation, so that's 2 weeks in a row for us with teams in all black.
That's correct. A nice addition we mentioned last year, Charles, when we had the pleasure to be down here on, I believe, 2 other occasions last year, and the nice addition to the new stands that they have located across the way. Seats about 1,200 people over there in the new section, and certainly does add a lot to a historical site here in Hartwell, Georgia, Herndon Stadium.
And, of course, the extra stands that were brought in tonight, Dr. McManus was mentioning earlier that they had brought in extra seating capacity tonight. A lot of fans in the stands and a lot of fans on the banks tonight.
And, Charles, there's a lot of people standing up, too.
All right, Hart County, their first offensive play from scrimmage. Handoff goes to Big Tim Johnson. And Johnson moves forward for about 2 yards.
Stevens County doing a good job up front with the defensive line led by James Singleton.
Second down and about 8.5 yards to go for a first down for the Bulldogs.
Hart County gives you a lot of different looks on offense.
2 wideouts, bottom of your screen. Spurlock is looking. And
fumble.
Fumble.
It looks like Stevens County might have got the fumble.
Has received it down
Antonio Martin
deep in Hart County territory. The pitch out coming just at the time that both Spurlock and Johnson were being hit, and no way to haul that one in. Stevens County recovers down about the 4-yard line.
Looked like a real good job on the defensive end's part to come down on the quarterback on the option, wrapped him up, real tight and made the miss pitch. And then Antonio Martin come in, with the fumble recovery.
Ball is spotted at the 6. Stevens County's offensive unit comes onto the field. Walker handing off to Chris Griffin.
Chris Griffin, fine junior player. Stevens County, one of the steady players that they've had all year. Done a very, very fine job consistently, game in and game out. Stevens County then, Charles, showing an unbalanced line. Also using James Singleton in there as an extra blocker.
Chris Griffin's gain on the play about 1 yard. Second down and goal from the 4. Walker handing off to Jabbar Wiley.
Touchdown!
10:05 10:04 left in the first quarter as Stevens County draws first blood here tonight. Jabbar Wiley scoring from 4 yards out to give the Indians a 6-0 advantage.
They went unbalanced right then and then ran the ball back to the quick side or to the short side of the field, and a good job of blocking up front by the offensive lineman on that side. But key blocks by Chris Griffin and by the linebacker Brian Kraft then to give him room to run behind.
Kevin Eby's point after is good. Stevens County Indians leading in the game so far 7-0 with 10:04 left to play. Once again, Hart County brings their kickoff return team onto the field. Coach Pate was giving us a little bit of a story on Brian Brannock. Coach Bosch, you want to relate that to us?
Well, he said in all of his years of coaching high school ball, he said he never had one move in during the season. And Brian Brannock came as a result of his parents, that were moving. And he told me and you, Charles, he said, Max said, I liked him from the start because he sat down in my office, said, I asked him where did he play, and he said, Coach, it don't matter, I just want to play. He said, I want to give that young man a suit right then. So, fine young man, they're very, very happy, to have him moved up to this area, and he's done a fantastic job for him this year. Kevin
Eby's first kickoff went to Brian Brannock. Let's see if he favors Brian Brannock or Tim Johnson. Looks like it'll be going to Brannock once again. Brannock takes it at the 6, and he's hauled down at the 19.
Marcus Dixon then going down under the specialty team. I think early on here, Charles, I've seen Stevens County play with more enthusiasm than I have seen them play. Of course, you playing for the championship and you playing Hart County, if you can't get excited, about that. But so far, and I know we're early in the ball game, but they have really displayed a lot of emotion.
Well, only 2 minutes and 10 seconds have ticked off the clock, and it seems like we've had a lot of football already. Wide out split to both sides of the field. Tim Johnson, number 26, fine player, big-time football player, Charlotte. Major college, big, good-looking athlete. We've seen him, since a freshman. He had a bout with an injury, but he is the leading rusher, in the area with 1,245 yards, on the year. It also leads with 14 touchdowns. So it's just having a terrific year this year. We have not seen Hart County at all this year on TV 32, but each week when you pick up the paper, you see Tim Johnson's name in there always is listed as a player of the week. Johnson in motion. Pitch back, goes to Brannock. Pardon me, Tracy Curry, the fullback on that carry. And Curry getting close to midfield. Close to the first down.
Good-looking football play. Stopped over there by Marcus Riley and also by Mark Idaho. Good-looking defensive play also to stop him. They ran a wide slot formation, ran motion away to the slot, and then ran a quick pitch back to the other side.
Well, he went out of bounds further back than I thought. He went out of bounds around the 25-yard line, so that leaves him about 4 yards to go for a first down.
Jamal Hopper now in for the Hart County Bulldogs at fullback. Tremendous competitor.
Spurlock firing. Pulled out of bounds, but he gets a first down.
Good-looking throw by Spurlock then.
Ken Wilson, number 7.
Spurlock, very, very talented quarterback, very fundamentally sound. Was in an automobile accident early last year and then rebounded back from that and came on and was backup quarterback, did a great job, has really taken on a senior leadership role this year. It actually has, to his credit, 750 yards of passing, for the year.
Spurlock and Johnson run into each other, but Johnson falls forward for about 1.5 yards.
Antonio Martin along with Chad Payne from the noseman position and James Singleton then making the tackle.
On the start for Stevens, number 83, Antonio Martin.
So it would seem that early on, Charles, that the Stevens defense, which has done a very, very fine job all year, has been pretty much equal to the task as far as the running game definition is concerned and being able to defend the running game, Hart has, though they have a lot of weapons, because Spurlock is certainly such an accurate passer.
And Gaines and Brannock split to the top of your screen. Spurlock handing off.
At a hold with the initial hit from the linebacker position. They ran a little quick trap back to the inside then.
And Tracy Curry gains about 3 on that play. This will bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. So the ball is at the 38-yard line of Hart County.
Talking to Coach Eddie McCurlin, he said this group of football players, very, very close-knit group. You know, they love to play the game, and a lot of their success has been just because they're a very, very unselfish group. Really do get along and play real, real hard. Big down right here for Hart County.
All right, Spurlock's looking. And pulled down short of the first down on a great defensive play was Ken Wilson, number 7, the wide receiver. It looks like they're marking him short of the first down.
Marcus Dixon came up with a stop there to stop him just short. Came up just short. Good-looking play then.
Number 13, Jason Kraft, back to punt for the Bulldogs. Kraft's punt, fair caught at the 32-yard line. 6:37 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a break. Be right back with more football action. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
For the past 13 years, Stovall Building Supplies has built something for themselves, a reputation. A reputation for quality building materials at fair prices with the best in service for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer. For all your building needs, lumber, new doors and windows, roofing materials, hardware items, paints and stains, plumbing supplies, and much more, come see the folks whose reputation is unmatched. Stovall Building Supplies, Mize Road, Toccoa, Georgia. Emerald World Jewelry and Import Company in Livonia has over 50,000 gems and specimens on display. They have an in-store custom shop for repairs and stone setting while you wait. They have more than 125 different styles of colored stones and filigree rings to choose from. Also, triple herringbone chains at $10.95 per gram. Nugget jewelry, $14.50 per gram. Diamond cut rope chains, $13.95 per gram. Shop where the atmosphere is friendly and you, the customer, can find the best prices in Northeast Georgia. Emerald World Jewelry and Import Company, Livonia.
Stay tuned for an important offer from Barron's.
You usually buy stock in the expectation that it's going to go up. The problem is you're buying it from someone who's equally convinced that it's going down. This sobering observation is brought to you by Barron's. Because the difference between happiness and unhappiness in such exchanges often comes down to who's better informed. And that's where we can help, with weekly updates on thousands of stocks and bonds, interviews with insightful stock pickers, reports on promising companies, and one of the most complete statistical digests published anywhere. Of course, you could ignore all that and trust your luck. But then Barron shows up every week without fail, which is more than you can say for luck.
Subscribe now to Barron's and get 13 weeks for only $26 with a money-back guarantee. Call 800-228-5509. That's 800-228-5509.
First and 10 for the Indians of Stevens County. The ball is at their own 32-yard line. Chip Walker bringing up his offensive unit. Stevens County in that full wishbone attack. The pitch goes to Jabbar Wiley. Jabbar Wiley moving ahead for about 1.5 yards.
This Hart County defense is very, very active. They line up primarily in a 6-man front. Oftentimes it will appear as a full 4 because of the way they play their outside linebacker. But nevertheless, you know, very, very fine defensive group also.
Jamie Long, number 18, bringing in the play from the sideline, split out to the top of your screen. Rickis Wiley flip-flops from one tight end spot over to the other.
Excellent play then by the interior defensive line of Hart County on the stop. Boy, they just really roared up in there then.
Chris Griffin finding absolutely very little running room, a gain of a yard or so. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for Stevens County.
Hart County has been very, very successful, you know, against the pass this year, also defending very, very well against the throwing game of a team.
Once again, they bring Euricus Wiley to this side of the line. Chip Walker pitching back to Jamal Wiley. Wiley a gain of 2 yards, but it's short of the first down by about 5 yards.
Jamal Hopper forced the play then, coming up from his outside linebacker, 5'5", 145 pounds, number 35, Mr. Hustle. Initially came up to make him cut back inside to get some inside support then. Good play by Jamal Hopper. Then got some inside help from his linebackers, Smith and also Jones and defensive end, Big Roebuck.
Kevin Eby standing back at his 25-yard line to punt.
Beautiful punt by Kevin Eby. Boy, it is a beauty.
Brennick takes it back at the 25-yard line. Fair catches it there. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. So once again, Hart County brings their offensive unit onto the field. A big hand on this side of the field for the defense of the Bulldogs.
And they did a fine job then. They adjusted well to the unbalanced line and stopped it then.
Fumble once again. Looks like Spurlock falling on it. A loss of 3 on the play.
Looked like they were coming out on the option then. Charles Goss in the ball game at fullback for Hart County.
Good fake to Tim Johnson. Spurlock throwing. Good catch by Coach Rodney Walker. Went over his head a little bit. Intended for number 84, Mike Gaines.
You know, Sonny Spurlock is not that big, but boy, he has an excellent arm. Boy, he unloaded that thing, didn't he?
He unloaded it. He really did. It'll be 3rd down now and long. 3rd down and about 13 or maybe 14 for the Bulldogs.
And they have been successful on all of their 3rd down conversions, you know, for the most part, except one.
This time they have 2 wideouts and 1 flanker, all on this side of the field. Spurlock is looking. He's firing, and the ball is deflected, and it's tipped. It's going to be an incomplete pass, but the Indian defense has thwarted the Bulldog offense on this particular series of downs as they wind up with 4th down and 14.
So both defenses, Charles, early on have played real, real well. And we're down to 3:30 here in the first quarter, and it's just like you expect a championship ball game to be.
Once again, Jason Kraft standing back at his 8-yard line, set to punt. The Indians rush 5 men. Good punt by Kraft. It's going to take a good Hart County bounce. It's rolling past the 40 down to the 36-yard line, 37-yard line. So the Indians will be pushed back to their 37-yard line. Good punt and a great roll from Jason Kraft. James Singleton coming into the game. Wearing number 36. He's that extra blocker that they'll bring in from time to time.
Big play by Hart County. Number 27 coming through from his outside linebacker position, Billy Joe Rucker.
Loss of a yard on that play brings up 2nd and 11 for the Indians.
Both of these defenses are really keen so far. Obvious excellent preparation on the part of both of these defensive units.
Once again, Stevens County in that unbalanced line. Hart County's defense shifts. Pitch back to Wiley. Jabbar Wiley still fighting, trying to get a yard or so on the play. Actually, it's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 9. Big 3rd down play for the Indians. And Hart County's defense fired up as they have stopped Stevens County on the last 2 offensive possessions.
Keith Barrett now in for Stevens County. It's put in along with Jason Oliver.
Stevens County goes to the single running back. 3 wide outs and a flanker.
Almost intercepted then by number 33 for Hart County. Good job, Mike Curry, being in there. Almost intercepted then will force Stevens County into a punt.
Kevin Eby going to be standing back on his 25 once again. Same spot he was at previously when he punted.
Another fine punt.
This one going to be hard to handle as it comes down like it does. Braddock getting a great return off that as he catches it on the run and gets it up across the 46-yard line. And to my recollection, this will be Hart County's best field position of the night.
Bobby Breedlove might have stopped that from being a touchdown. Brian Braddock showing much courage standing down there amongst all those people. And had Bobby Breedlove, he had nothing but green grass or somewhat tinted green and brown grass in front of him.
Nowhere to go.
Sean Hancock, big play from his defensive end position. Spurlock appeared to be coming out on the option play. Sean Hancock doing a fine job.
Ken Wilson bringing the play in from the sidelines. Second down, 12 yards to go for a first down. Ball is spotted at the 42. 42 seconds left in this quarter, as a matter of fact. Handoff goes to Tim Johnson. Johnson has running room. Tim Johnson
outside. Fumble.
Ball is fumbled. It goes out of bounds at the 14-yard line, but a great run by Tim Johnson.
He showed that he was a big league runner then with all the moves he put on. Not only is he big, but he's fast. Terrific run by Tim Johnson then. It really does make your defense have to stay honest when you have such a prolific runner such as Tim Johnson.
Bulldogs first and 10 at the 18-yard line. Spurlock to Johnson once again. Tim Johnson, very little running room in there, maybe gets a yard.
Sean Hancock along with Chad Payne, along with James Singleton, and Tommy Allen making the stop inside there. Boy, a great run then by Tim Johnson.
Well, he electrified this Hart County sideline certainly when he did that as he cut back across the grain. Good-looking run. That's the end of the first quarter. It's 7-0. The Stevens County Indians on top of the Hart County Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs are knocking on the door. We'll be back with more high school football on TV 32.
Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning is owned and operated by Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Murray. And in the years the firm has been in business, residents of Toccoa and the surrounding area have learned that Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning is the firm on which to call. They're your dealer for Carrier, the most efficient heat pump unit on the market. This is the unit that heats in winter, cools in summer so efficiently, you'll forget you've installed it. For residential or commercial heating and air conditioning work, contact the Murrays at Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning, Liberty Hill Road, Toccoa, phone 886-1383.
A message from the Consumer Information Center in Pueblo, Colorado. If you'd like to give your house some minor tweaks, fix a eensy-beensy leak, run a shop that's all your own, buy yourself a cozy home, steer away from crummy deals, protect your car from roof to wheels, trim your tummy, thighs, and hips, go on safe, exotic trips. Stay away from hacks and quacks. Blow away those sneeze attacks. Teach your kids the ABCs, how to write and how to read. Get rid of little pests that bug you, ones that crawl or buzz above you. Bag the junk food in your diet. Know what's inside before you buy it. Bank on stocks and count on bonds. Stay away from market cons. Then you'll want this free and helpful book listing 200 government pamphlets. Look, for this new edition, just drop a line. Write new catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
As we begin the second quarter, ball is spotted at the 18-yard line. The Hart County Bulldogs, after that electrifying run by Tim Johnson, have it down in Stevens County territory. I'm Charles Head, along with Coach Mac Poss and the TB32 football crew here at Herndon Stadium in Hart County, Georgia. The Indians on top of the Bulldogs, 7-0. Hart County has two wideouts. Movement in the Hart County line, and flags fly. That'll move the Bulldogs back to the 24.
I believe it's our first penalty of the night.
I think so. So Hart County now, second down, 15.
The thing that Hart County does so well offensively is they make you play the whole field. They come out with so many different sets and may not run that many offensive plays, but they make you play the whole field.
Sonny Spurlock firing. Ken Wilson was the intended receiver.
Good defensive play by Marcus Dixon over there, Dan. Spurlock really throws the football well. Had very, very substantial time to throw it then. Good protection by his offensive linemen up front then. But Jeff Floyd, Jan Fry, and Jason Ramsey along with Nathan Skelton and Jay Blackman. Good time to throw. Good defensive play then by Marcus Riley. There have been a lot of great football games played here between these two football teams here at Herndon Stadium, Stevens County and Hart County. And I can remember a marathon several years ago with Keith Montgomery and Pat Swillen and company. And this game early on seems to be a very, very fine game, just as all the rest.
Tim Johnson takes the handoff from Spurlock. He's got running room. And boy, Tim Johnson is some more runner.
When he gets it in under his arms, you can tell he knows what to do with it.
Scott Payne coming up a little slowly on that play. Coach Rodney Walker told us that Scott Payne was injured somewhat in practice this week, was not at 100% tonight. And that leak from Tim Johnson didn't help matters a whole lot there.
Tommy Allen also coming out hurt on the play. That'll be bringing in Doug Mayfield, who's playing injured tonight.
Fourth down and 6. Hart County's bringing... Hart County calling for a timeout.
It appears that they may be going for a field goal here.
Hart County bringing their field goal unit onto the field. And the Stevens County trainers coming out and talking with their team. Hart County having an opportunity after that Tim Johnson run to get some points on the board. Now they're trying to look at least salvaging 3 out of this.
Well, we have seen Hart County, they're capable of running, any kind of play. Coach Bobby Pate, a la Bobby Bowden, will pull it all out, there's certainly very, very fine diversification, in his offense. Charles, honestly looking at all the people standing around the field and the people that are already seated and the ones that are in the end zone, there aren't enough seats simply to hold them here.
Shane Bowers, number 19, is the field goal kicker for the Bulldogs. And he is set up at the 22-yard line. This will be a 32-yard attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Hart County putting 3 points on the board. So it's Stevens County 7, Hart County 3 with 11:43
Hit a
left
line
in the second
drive
quarter.
knuckle. So Hart County, as you mentioned, Charles, wanting to salvage something out of that drive. 2 good runs, some key plays there by Tim Johnson. 2 good runs. And they were able to get, 3 points out of it. It was important to the offense to be able to get something going. Defense has played very, very well. Both defensive have, as far as that is concerned. You have to give tribute to the Stevens County defense for not allowing them to continue, on their march. You also have to give credit to the Hart County offense. They did have a good drive going, and they did come up with some points. So that's all important. And we saw how important last week field goal kicking is.
Shane Bowers set to kick off for the Bulldogs of Hart County. Marcus Dixon back deep for the Indians at the 7. Takes it there. The Indians try to form a wedge.
Outside.
Marcus Dixon on the move. Dixon up to the 41-yard line. And Marcus Dixon.
Great run back then by Marcus Dixon. He didn't like but just a little bit from breaking that all the way. Matter of fact, he had a good block, downfield, and looked like he might have just kind of bounced into one of his own men, but it was off to the races then. Great run back by Marcus Dixon.
Indians out of the wishbone once again, flipping Euricus Wiley to this side of the field to unbalance the line. Chip Walker pitching back to Chris Griffin. Griffin a gain of about 5 yards.
We have a
flag is down, yes, back at the 39.
We got a flag on the play.
It's against the Bulldogs.
Chris Griffin taking the pitch. I believe it was Chris Griffin on the option then, taking the pitch. And what the penalty is, personal foul?
I believe it's a big one, whatever it is. The ball is moved all the way down to the 36-yard line. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 now for the Indians down in Hart County territory at the 36-yard line.
Big play by Stan Sayer up front then, and Mike Roebuck, along with number 33, the interior line, Mike Curry then. Stevens County going to run a little misdirection of cross buck action then. Fine defensive play up front by Hart County then.
No gain on the play as Chris Griffin runs into that Hart County wall there. 2nd down and 10. Indians call timeout. 10:26 left in the second quarter. And Coach, it's exciting to see fans on both sides of the field really getting into this game like they are tonight.
They certainly are. Hart County fans getting excited on every play, and then you have retaliatory applaud on the other side, by the Stevens County fans. They come back, and it's good to see them, get behind, their favorite teams and applaud the efforts of these young men.
Chip Walker coming back to the huddle with the instructions from head coach Rodney Walker. There against that defense of Hart County.
Jamal Hopper coming up and making the stop along with number 70 for Hart County.
Jamie Long bringing in the play from the sidelines. Once again, Eureka Wiley checking in. James Singleton checking out of the Stevens County.
Made a big league play and just stripped the football then and stole the football. Big defensive play by the young man.
So Hart County will have the football down at the 26. They're backed up at their own 26, but they have the ball. 1st and 10 there. 9:34 in the first half.
And that's what you expect your captain of your defense to do.
Granick goes in motion. Sets up on the opposite side of the field. Spurlock is looking. He's firing. And like you say, Coach, he's got an arm. The intended receiver.
He had
number 84, Mike Gaines.
Had good contained responsibility in by the defensive end, number 83. His job being to trail as the deepest back and, keep the quarterback in the pocket, then hope you get some inside pressure, from your tackles. Good time to throw the football, Charles. They just had a big defensive play where they've turned the ball around. Big momentum change with a fine play, by Blackwell then. And then to come up and throw the football to try to hit them quick.
Tim
Johnson with the ball again.
Johnson pulled down.
County equal to the task.
About a yard on the play from Tim Johnson.
Good inside pursuit then by Stevens County.
That brings up 3rd down and about 8 for the Bulldogs of Hart County after the turnover.
Been successful on their 3rd down plays in the ball game.
Game split to the top of your screen. Granick in the slot. Spurlock is looking. He's firing. It's picked off. Marcus Dixon.
Big league play by Marcus Dixon.
Ball will be spotted about the 49-yard line, almost midfield for the Indians.
He just skyrocketed up then and pulled that ball down out of the sky. Excellent play then. It looked like it was going to be thrown in, and the defenders, were behind. He did the only thing that he could have done and just barely reached up and got there. Boy, he has really played inspired football tonight.
And Hart County had 2 receivers that either one could have gotten the reception because they were both right on the spot for it. Good play by Marcus Dixon.
Jabbar Wiley's outside.
Wiley.
Jabbar Wiley's still running.
Jabbar Wiley all the way down to the Bulldog 32-yard line, 33-yard line.
Credit the young man with his run then. He did a fine job running the football, but Chip Walker did an excellent job on the read. At first, it seemed like that he thought at first he was going to have to keep, and then he picked up his head, looked again, and was able to see down the field, pitched the ball, and he made a very, very fine run then.
All right, the ball is at the 33 of Hart County. The Indians have first and 10, 7:48 left in the second quarter. Handoff going to Brian Kraft. Kraft about 9 yards on that play.
Brian Kraft running very, very strong then. He's real quick off the football. He and Lee Simmons both have done a fine job at fullback, this year for Stevens County.
Stevens County coming up to the ball. Rickis Wiley comes to this side as a tight end, unbalances the line.
Chris Griffin breaks off tackle and like he got a first down.
Fumble. Hart County recovering once again down at the 22-yard line as the Indians have turned the ball over once again down deep in Hart County territory.
Great defensive play then by Hart County to come up with the football. Both of these teams, Charles, opportunistic thus far in this championship tilt.
Like Bobby Breedlove going out with a possible injury.
Stevens has just been injury plagued, most of the year. Jamal Harper then on just a little quick trap. Doug Mayfield in on the tackle, playing injured tonight, along with James Singleton.
No gain on the play.
Second and 10, Hart County.
Ken Wilson checking in with the play from the sideline. Clock is down to 6:10. It's a 7-3 ball game. Indians jumping on top early. Only 2 minutes had elapsed in the game when Stevens County scored from 3 yards out on a Jabbar Wiley run. Hart County countering with a 32-yard field goal. Tim Johnson on the run. Johnson pulled down back at the 22, but flags are down.
They have a face mask penalty that will be tacked on to it. Tim Johnson doing a fine job then on the stiff arm technique, Charles, not to allow them to get to his body, and then trying to reach, and while he's running and they're running at the same time, not an intentional face mask, but nevertheless it'd be a 15-yard penalty, and probably no player ever intentionally, grabs a face mask. But sometimes the way the runner is carrying himself and trying to ward off the would-be blocker, it causes them to grab the face mask inadvertently. Nevertheless, Hart County in good field position now. First down with 5:45 to go here in the first half at Herndon Stadium.
Hart County has it at the 38. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Mark Adderholt and Chad Payne doing a good job up front for the defensive Indians.
Curry, the fullback, carrying for Hart County on that play, and a good run on first down. They spot him nearly 5 yards on that play. So a good run on first down.
Well, it makes it a good call. It makes it a lot easier call for you on second down.
Gaines and Wilson, the 2 wide receivers, split to the far sides of the field. Spurlock pitches back to Johnson. Johnson, a host of Stevens County defenders.
Excellent play. It looked like a fumble.
And Stevens County apparently has the ball. Let's see how the officials rule this.
First down, Stevens County.
Boy, this has turned into a fumble fest in the first half, hasn't it, Coach?
Well, I think the backs are trying to get additional yardage, and, you know, they're hustling and playing real hard, and I think that's what you attribute it to. Also, some good, strong tackling, you know, by the defense, likewise.
4:43 left in the first half. We'll take a break. Be back with more football action in just a moment. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
Do it yourself and save. It's easy with the help of Stovall's new plumbing supply department, stocked with all kinds of supplies to allow you to save money by doing your own repair work in the kitchen or bath. Stovall's has whatever you need and the expert advice to help you with the job. So for plumbing supplies around your house, become a do-it-yourselfer. It's easy with the help of Stovall Building Supplies, Mize Road, Toccoa, Georgia.
I did it myself with the help of Stovall's.
Northeast Georgia Bank in Livonia, Cannon, Royston, and now Carnesville stand ready to assist you with the best in banking and full-service facilities. President John Gill and staff offer the pleasure of dealing one-on-one with your financial needs. The friendly tellers, staff members in the loan department, and others at Northeast Georgia Bank are interested in the customers, folk who've made the bank a leader. Visit Northeast Georgia Bank's main office in Livonia on Georgia 17, branch office in Cannon on Georgia 17, US 29 in Royston, and now downtown Carnesville, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Beverly of Beverly Exercise, and I want to invite you to join me for exercise on WNEG TV 32 for you. When? Weekday mornings. So you be sure and join me.
Ralph, the law specifically states you must register with Selective Service at the post office within 30 days of your 18th birthday.
What's the rush? Have some fun, dude.
You can register before you clean your room.
Can you stand that much excitement?
He has to.
Okay, I'll register.
Good.
Then I'll take in a movie.
Attaboy, Ralphie!
Oh, but Ralph...
Listen to your conscience. Register with Selective Service. WNEG 32 for you.
The officials are getting the ball set for Stevens County to come up on this first series of downs after the fumble. Stevens County has the ball down at the Hart County 37-yard line. It's 1st and 10 there. 4:43 left in the first half.
Lee Simmons now manning the fullback position for Stevens County.
And the handoff going to Simmons. Short gain on the play. Looks like maybe 2 yards.
On the run for Stevens, number 42, Keith Merritt. On the stop for Hart County, number 40, Stephen Smith.
Big play on first down by the Hart County defense.
Stevens County with 2 wideouts and the single back. Marcus Dixon in the slot. Chip Walker is looking. He's firing.
He's got Chris Griffin.
Chris Griffin down. What a fire. What a nice pass from Chip Walker to Chris Griffin. That play covered 35 yards, and it was a beauty. Laid right in there perfectly for Chris Griffin.
Beautiful, beautiful football play. And he just ran out there right under it, and just a superb play. Very fine job of blocking up front by the Stevens County line. Chip Walker had all the time in the world to throw the football, and it was 6.
Kevin Eby, the PAT attempt is good. The score, 14-3, as the Stevens County Indians take a surprising lead over the Hart County Bulldogs.
Chad Andrews and Henry Powell, along with Brad Whitfield and Bobby Breedlove and Chris Ellawine then, along with Eureka's Wiley, gave him a lot of time to throw the football. He got a key block on the set then by Marcus Dixon, number 6, on the hard-charging defensive end from Hart County. And Marcus Dixon threw a key block for him over here that gave him just a little additional time. Chris Griffin was on a flap pattern all the way. Defense actually, Charles, was in position, you know, to make the play, but he threw it out there just long enough, you know, for him to run underneath it.
Kevin Eby set to kick off from the 40 for the Indians, and deep back for the Hart County Bulldogs, Tim Johnson. And also Brian Brannick. Both of those deep men for Hart County, very dangerous when they touch the football. Brannick once again going to be taking it back at his 5. A fumble briefly as Brannick picks it up. And Brannick...
He may break us there.
Brannick is on the move. Brian Brannick with a great return to the Indians' 49-yard line. What a great
Fantastic
return.
job by Brian Brannick then, to, after fumbling the ball, to get about a 45-yard return. Hart County in excellent field position. Sometimes when you see someone fumble charge, it causes you to relax just a little bit, but Brian Brannick did a great run by him then. Draw play.
Tim Johnson, and Johnson actually losing about a half yard on that play, so the Stevens County defense not at all taken aback by that particular play.
Chad Payne coming up with a big defensive play in his start tonight. Robert Russell, number 65, 201-pound junior, in there also for the Indians.
And unable to hold on to it for Hart County, Russell Blackwell, number 16.
Well, we're seeing everything. Well-thrown football then, just off his fingertip. And you'll probably see him, Charles, come back to that one again.
He was open and certainly had a step on his man. Hart County, the ball sitting right at midfield. It's third down and a little better than 10 yards to go. 3:03 left in the first half. Picked off at the 40-yard line for the Indians.
Jason Oliver with the interception then. Looked like it was going to be a fake screen back to this side and then just hung it up there. And Jason Oliver made a fine interception on it. And with 2:56 to go, Stevens County back. And this is interesting, the way this ball game has gone. You know, the things that we would not have thought would have been a factor, such as interceptions and fumble recoveries, have turned out to be, you know, the factors in the ball game.
In some aspects, it looks like the first game of the year out of some people. Jabbar Wiley being met by a tough defense. He only gets about 2 yards on the play.
Stephen Smith, young sophomore linebacker, doing a fine job for Hart County all year. We made the initial hit then.
Clock is at 2:29 and counting.
Jan Fry in on defense for Hart County, giving Stan Sayer a rest.
Coach, it seems like there's been a full game's worth of offense in this game so far. Pitchback goes to Wiley again. Jabbar Wiley is out.
And Jabbar Wiley still running.
Wiley has the first down. He's in Hart County territory at the 45. Clock stopped, 2:02.
Got a real good block on that side over there by Eureka's Wiley, and also got a good block by Marcus Dixon there.
And number 28, Stacy Jones.
Stacy Jones was in on the tackle, you know, for Hart County. But Wiley really has run hard the times we've seen him with the football, and seemingly not having lost any yardage the times he's carried the ball tonight.
Walker handing off to Brian Kraft. Penalty markers are down.
Looks like we had movement, procedure on Stevens County. Oftentimes that's caused by being, you know, zealous to want to get off the ball real quick.
Ball ball will be moved back now to midfield once again. It'll bring up 1st and 15. Minute 56, and the clock is ticking. Stevens County at this point enjoying a 14-3 lead as we get almost to halftime. Once again, they move Eureka's Wiley to the opposite side to unbalance that line.
Excellent play up front by the entire interior defensive line of Hart County then. Stopped for virtually no gain. Might have even lost 6 inches then, or maybe half a yard.
On the initial hit for Hart County, number 56, Ian Fry.
Jamie Long bringing in the play from the sidelines for the Indians.
Ian Fry making the initial hit, and then a whole host of black jerseys.
Recovering at the 44-yard line. Just as the pitch from Chip Walker got to Jabbar Wiley was flattened and the ball had nowhere to be received, and so Hart County coming up with a big fumble with 49 seconds left in the first half, and I believe we'll see all-out passing at this time. That play that you mentioned a while ago, that may be one of the ones they come back to right now.
Yeah, watch for 16 to come in the ball game.
There he is.
They'll probably come back to that, you know, with the clock running down. They're going to be going for the end zone.
And they bring all the wide receivers in this time. Ken Wilson, we notice, is in, along with Russell Blackwell. They've got Mike Gaines splitting out to the far side of the screen. 3 wide receivers, 1 setback. Flags are falling as they blow this play dead. 22 seconds left on the clock. And let's see how the officials rule this one.
Too much time then to run the play.
That'll bring the ball back to about the 48-yard line. Which will not upset Hart's play calling whatsoever. For another 5 yards at this point just means the same play needs to go a little longer.
You think this is not a pass?
I think it's going to be the closest thing to a pass that there can be. Well, that's about the closest thing to a pass that it can be without being a pass.
Big play by, looks like James Singleton wearing number 65. If not James Singleton, then
Timeout has been taken with 6 seconds left, so virtually this should be the last play of this half.
Well, Robert,
and it has been a wild half.
If it looks like Robert Russell, that's the number of the jersey we have. Aren't sure because of some of the changes of the numbers tonight. But big defensive play then, you know, by the defensive tackle, whomever is wearing number 65. And with 6 seconds to go, once again, Charles, number 16 is in the ball game, and we've seen them throw to him, and they've been successful this year. And also, Brian Brannock has been a very, very capable receiver, and all of their receivers are in now. You'll find Stevens County funneling their defensive back, so to speak, to try to keep everything in front of them, you know, with 6 seconds to go. Also an ideal time, Charles, to throw a screen pass, you know, trying to loosen them up just a little bit. And Tim Johnson also is out there in a slot, so anything could happen.
All right. Hart County, let's see what Spurlock is going to do. He's back. He fires. Boy, he throws that thing a mile. And it's incomplete. That's the end of the first half. It's Stevens County 14, Hart County 3 from Herndon Stadium in Hartwell, Georgia. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
The Dodge factory authorized clearance is on, and we're blowing out our inventory with double dollar deals. Choose sporty Dodge Shadow. We've doubled the cash back, now giving you $1,500. Or get $1,500 double cash on economical Dodge Omnis too. And millions of dollars in factory-to-dealer incentives could save you even more on Daytonas and most pickups.
Take a test drive today at Southland Motors on Lower Hurd Street in Elberton.
Introducing the secret of sexy legs from Smooth Lady, the modern new way to remove unwanted hair. No shaving, no waxing, no chemicals. Your legs stay smooth for up to 4 weeks. And Smooth Lady really is smooth.
I simply rub Smooth Lady against my leg and hair is gone. Instantly. Removed right at the root. And I don't have to do it again for up to a whole month. Imagine 4 glorious weeks of smooth legs without even shaving once.
If you thought you had to pay $70 for an epilator, you're wrong, because we're giving away Smooth Lady epilators for only $10 if you're among the first 2,000 people watching this broadcast who call. So hurry.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-826-1110. That's 1-800-826-1110. Save COD charges by using your Visa or MasterCard and call now 1-800-826-1110.
Tonight for your halftime viewing pleasure, we're starting off with the Stevens County High School Marching Band. That'll be followed by the Hart County Marching Bulldog Band. We hope you enjoy tonight's halftime performances.
tune recorded by the Ides of March. Here now is Jim Peterick's Vehicle, featuring trumpet soloist Jonathan Mack. Now in the 70s tradition with a popular tune recorded by Three Dog Night. Here's the band and auxiliary corps and trumpet soloist Omar Levitt with Celebrate.
For more than 25 years, James Bond has thrilled moviegoers. And now Time Life Video announces the James Bond Collection. And the adventure begins with Goldfinger at the special introductory price of just $9.99. That's a savings of 50% off the regular price. Then you can collect other James Bond adventures on home video. You'll receive another great Bond movie each month for just $19.99. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel at any time.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Call now to get Goldfinger for just $9.99. Here's how to order.
To order your James Bond video cassette, call 1-800-634-4600 or send just $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to James Bond Video, Department 102, Box 1322, Buffalo, New York.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, under the field of direction of Miss Deanna Carpenter, your attention to the sidelines as we recognize the 24 senior bandsmen and 2 senior cheerleaders who are performing at their last regular season game tonight. Please hold your applause until they have all been presented. They are Crystal Baker, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Tawny Baker, captain of the flag corps and clarinetist in the symphonic band. Sharon Bissell, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Art Bissell, clarinet and supply manager. Deanna Carpenter, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ron Carpenter, field commander and flutist in the symphonic band. Brad Cleveland, son of Mr. and Mrs. Doug Cleveland, percussion section leader and equipment manager. Jeremy Corbett, son of Mr. and Mrs. Charles Corbett, mellophone section leader and a member of the 1988 All-District Band. Shad Crittenden, son of Mr. and Mrs. Hattie Crittenden, member of the trumpet section and first aid manager. James Crump, son of Mr. and Mrs. James Crump, member of the bass section and stadium manager. Holly Dickerson, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Henry Dickerson, flag lieutenant and flutist in the symphonic band. Jeff Gray, son of Mr. and Mrs. Robert Gray, member of the trumpet section and a band lieutenant. Susan Horsley, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ted Horsley, flag corps lieutenant and clarinetist in the symphonic band. Kelly Isom, daughter of Mrs. Linda Isom and Mr. Brodus Isom, band librarian and clarinetist in the symphonic band. Jeff Miller, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jacob Miller, member of the trombone section and band stadium manager. John Moorhead, son of Mr. and Mrs. Billy Moorhead, band captain and saxophone section leader. Debbie Neely, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Neely, member of the trumpet section, band lieutenant, and a 2-time member of the All-District Band. Robin Oglesby, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Oglesby, flag corps lieutenant. Ashley Robinson, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Kenny Robinson, clarinet section leader and senior uniform manager. Al Rucker, son of Mr. and Mrs. Mike Rucker, trumpet section leader and a 2-time member of the All-District Band. Beth Sailors, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Vincent Sailors, member of the trumpet section and band reporter. Mark Sturgeon, son of Mr. and Mrs. Donald Sturgeon, band lieutenant and a member of the trombone section. Wendy Teasley, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Teasley, member of the flag corps and flutist in the symphonic band. David Thornton, son of Mr. and Mrs. Don Thornton, band stadium manager and a member of the bass section. Dawn Tippins, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. John Tippins, flute section leader. Gina Vickery, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Terrell Vickery, band lieutenant and a member of the flute section. Jennifer York, daughter of Mrs. Marcia Dickerson and Mr. Rudy York, flag corps captain and flutist in the symphonic band. Ashley Andrews, senior cheerleader, 4-year veteran and co-captain. Billy Joe Hardy, senior cheerleader, 4-year veteran and co-captain of the squad. Let's have a big hand for these senior bandsmen and cheerleaders. Two senior members of the Bulldog Marching Band will do a special honor tonight as the McDonald's Restaurant Corporation, represented by local McDonald's manager Doug Blomberg, will present certificates of nomination to the McDonald's All-American High School Band to Debbie Neely and Al Rucker. These students were nominated on the basis of their musical accomplishment, talent, and commitment to excellence. Both plan to continue their education past high school. Debbie hopes to attend the University of Georgia as a music major. Al plans to attend Morehouse College in Atlanta as a business major. We thank McDonald's Corporation and our local McDonald's restaurant for encouraging our bright young musicians. Let's have a big hand for Al Rucker. And now, on with the show and locomotion.
From the fiery depths rose a creature so awesome, so fierce. Legend has it that to see a dragon and live would bring luck and wealth beyond imagination. Now, the Metropolitan Guild for Collectible Art proudly issues an original masterwork, the Golden Dragon of Fire. The Metropolitan Guild has commissioned nationally renowned artist E. Victor Brastons to create his vision of this legendary creature. The artist has sculpted each feature of this magnificent beast in exacting detail. Hundreds of scales are hand-carved onto the Golden Dragon and seem to come alive under a layer of the purest 24-karat gold. No creature, real or imagined, has inspired such awe. Each Golden Dragon is engraved with the artist's authentic signature and individual serial number. You now have an unprecedented opportunity to own the Golden Dragon of Fire at the official issue price of $19.95. Here's how to order.
As we get ready for the second half of play here at Herndon Stadium in Hart County at Hartwell, Georgia, the Stevens County Indians, who deferred the kickoff to the second half, are going to be receiving. I'm Charles Head along with Coach Mac Poss. The Stevens County Indians right now a 14-3 lead over the Hart County Bulldogs as we begin the second half. And, Coach, that's a surprise to a lot of people.
It certainly was, Charles, and a lot of unusual twists, in the first half, plagued by fumbles. Pass interceptions are not necessarily a problem. It just shows good defense, people being in the right position, but it is, of course, there's a lot of football to play here, 24 minutes with both of these teams. I would have to say, Charles, that the first half, Stevens County played as well as I've seen them play.
And almost as many fumbles in this game tonight as first downs, which is really unusual. Marcus Dixon back deep for the Indians. Jabbar Wiley also back there, and Keith Merritt looks like back there also. Shane Bowers kicking a little low roller. Lee Simmons is going to pick it up at the 25. And Simmons pulled down at the 27-yard line, but boy, he had that ball wrapped up solidly in his hands.
Tracy Curry going down under the specialty teams, doing a good job. Stevens County will put it in play at the 29-yard line. I believe we had a little talk with as many fumbles as there were in the first half. Lee was certainly making sure that he didn't fumble the football.
Merritt split out to the wide side of the field. Jabbar Wiley.
Big play by the Hart County defense. First hit by Stephen Smith, linebacker, and then number 27 coming across, Billy Joe Rucker, 185-pound junior, Billy Rucker.
Pickup of 1 brings up a 2nd and 8.
It looked like it was amazing that he got any yardage in. Fine pursuit then by Hart County, realizing that he's very, very hard to bring down, so fine pursuit by them.
Chip Walker, the quarterback of the Indians, setting his line and his wishbone backs. For the Hart County defense coming out here fired up in this second half.
Well, they're playing very, very inspired right now. It puts Stevens County in a third down situation, playing extremely well up front. They've walked the linebackers up on the line of scrimmage, and they virtually have Stevens County, looking at 9 people, on the line of scrimmage.
Indians bring Euricus Wiley to unbalance the line on this side. They've got Keith Merritt split out wide. Chip Walker is pulled down in the backfield.
Excellent play then by the Hart County defense. It was important that they come out here and take control of the line of scrimmage, from the onset here, and they did a fine job then on their initial defensive thrust here. Matter of fact, Stevens County failed to gain any yardage then. Ended up with about a 4th and 10.5 situation.
Kevin Eby back to punt for the Indians. This time he's standing back at his 14. A beautiful, long, high spiral. It's going to be taken and on reverse. Hart County on the move. He may go. Pulled down at the 19-yard line of the Indians for Hart County. Number 16, Russell Blackwell. And what a great return on the handoff from Brannock.
They set up the wall. Superb play, superlative punt return then by the young man, certainly. But, the beauty of it was they really set the wall up this way and looked like they was going to get it. And he just ran naked back down the other side and almost got it in for 6. Beautiful play by Hart County.
All right, the ball is at the 19-yard line. The Bulldogs have it there, 1st and 10. Sonny Spurlock handing off to Tim Johnson. Johnson trying to find a hole.
Big play by Stevens County. Marcus Dixon coming up from the safety position then.
Johnson pulled down for a 2-yard loss.
Master field to play brings up a 2nd and 12.
A 2nd and 12 now for Hart County, and Stevens County also showing some courage.
Both defenses just playing excellent after coming out from the halftime.
Beautiful punt return. Don't believe I've seen, well, people used to call that the Georgia Tech punt return, where they would fake it or either give it off. Beautiful return.
Once again, Tim Johnson. Johnson spurts ahead for about 5 or 6 yards. They're going to spot him down at the 16-yard line, right at the 15-yard line. That'll bring up now 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for a 1st down.
Tommy Allen, along with James Singleton.
Ken Wilson checking in for Brian Brannock. Officials' timeout has been called. Jabbar Wiley checking in for the Indians. This time they have Mike Gaines split to this side of the field. Ken Wilson to the wide side of the field. Spurlock is looking. He pitches back to Johnson. Fumble!
And Stevens County has come up with it.
Indians recover another fumble down deep in their own territory as Hart County was driving. The ball is recovered at the 20, and the Indians will put it in play there. 1st and 10. 7:33 left in the 3rd quarter.
Good job then by the defensive end coming out on the option, on Spurlock to make him pitch. Had good force, a good contain coming up from the safety position. Then the fumble was caused, and Sean Hancock, came up with a big play. So once again, big play comes up. Fumble stymies the Hart County offense. Big play by Hart County. They're just knifing through. Coming so strong with Mike Roebuck, Stan Sayer.
And Jabbar Wiley losing 1.5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 11, back at the 18-yard line.
Jamie Long carrying in the play for the Stevens County Indians.
This time going forward for about a 6-yard gain, or about a 5-yard gain. That'll make a 3rd down and about 7, looks like, for the Indians.
Jabbar Wiley making the stop for Hart County. Jamal Harper, number 35. Pick up the 4, 3rd and 7.
3rd down.
Keith Merritt once again splitting out in the wide receiver spot. Walker is firing. It's picked off.
Kevin Morris with the interception, and he's broke loose.
Jabbar Wiley forcing him out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Another turnover in this game. Hart County coming up with a big interception.
Well, Kevin Morris, if you throw it out there to him, he's Mr. Dangerous. He intercepted 4 last week in the ball game against Franklin County. 4 interceptions in a ball game is a career for most people. But once again, if you throw it out there in the area of Mr. Morris, he's Mr. Dangerous. So Hart County once again is in business. And what can we say? Interceptions, fumbles. Big play by Kevin Morris and the defense.
To the 2-yard line.
Fullback then running extremely strong up there. Looked like Tracy Curry running so strong up inside then. And Hart County is in business down on about the 2-yard line of Stevens County.
Bulldogs knocking on the door. The deepest penetration the Hart County Bulldogs have had all night on this Stevens County defense. Their only points coming on a 32-yard field goal. It's 1st and goal from the 3. Spurlock handing off to Tim Johnson. Looks like Johnson going to be just short of the goal line. Officials spot it maybe a half yard away from that orange stripe.
Tim Johnson's run so strong, and he got in behind his offensive lineman then. His power play right on the inside there. 2nd down and what, maybe a half a yard, Charles?
Looks like maybe so. Ken Wilson bringing that play in from the sidelines. And I would say, Coach, let's look for Mr. Johnson once again. Tim Johnson, touchdown, Hart County.
Big Tim Johnson comes through with 6 points for the Hart County Bulldogs.
Hart County scoring with 4:22 left in the 3rd quarter. At this point, it's a 14-9 game. Shane Bowers set for the point after.
And this puts Hart County, of course, they never were out of it. They puts them right back in there, closing down the score.
Bowers' PAT attempt is no good. And with 4:22 left in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more football action. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
Fall has arrived, which means just around the corner is winter and it's cold temperatures. But you can stay warm inside your home if you prepare now with a visit to Stovall Building Supplies for caulking, storm windows and doors, pipe insulation, attic insulation, weather stripping, and much more. Let the friendly and knowledgeable staff guide you in keeping the home place warm this winter. Stovall Building Supplies, Mize Road, Toccoa, Georgia. Emerald World Jewelry and Import Company in Livonia has over 50,000 gems and specimens on display. They have an in-store custom shop for repairs and stone setting while you wait. They have more than 125 different styles of colored stones and filigree rings to choose from. Also, triple herringbone chains at $10.95 per gram. Nugget jewelry, $14.50 per gram. Diamond cut rope chains, $13.95 per gram. Shop where the atmosphere is friendly and you, the customer, can find the best prices in Northeast Georgia. Emerald World Jewelry and Import Company, Livonia.
I love to work out. I like my body to be perfect. That's because I lead an active social life. I want to look good. But no matter what shape you're in, anyone can get the AIDS virus. And one workout that can protect you from the AIDS virus is not to take risks when it comes to sex.
Hart County closes the gap by 6 points as they score that touchdown on the Tim Johnson half-yard run. 14-9 now is the score. Still in favor of the Stevens County Indians at this point. Shane Bowers set to kick off. It's Marcus Dixon deep for the Indians. Ball is going to be taken by Dixon at the 11. Marcus Dixon up to the 30-yard line. Stevens County offense coming onto the field now. Stevens County offense has been thwarted most of the second half by the Hart County defense, and really I don't think Stevens County has had but maybe one first down in the second half, if that.
Well, they have really played inspired, you know, in the second half, and then came up with a key interception that led to 6 points. Kevin Marsh with that key intercept, you know, for Hart County. Then they got 6 out of it.
Brian Kraft, the fullback, coming up with 3 yards.
Stands there on the initial attack for Hart County.
Stevens County, number 35, Brian Kraft, making the stop for the Bulldogs, number 40, Stephen Smith.
Stephen Smith, the young sophomore linebacker. Of course, at this time of the season, Charles, you don't really count them as sophomores anymore because you've already played 10 games and 3 weeks of preseason, so you can't claim you're just a sophomore anymore.
Kraft again.
And Stevens County is just coming in and just getting down and going to their basic, you know, blocks and the base blocks and just trying to establish, you know, something on the ground, you know, to get themselves going here. Not having to, I believe you are correct, maybe they only got 1 first down, you know, in the third quarter.
3rd and 5 now. Big down for Stevens County and an equally big down for the defense of the Bulldogs. And short of the first down. Indians, this will bring up 4th down and 2 as the punting unit comes onto the field. Once again, that Hart County defense thwarting the offensive drive of Stevens County. Brian Brannock, very dangerous, going back to the 30-yard line. Kevin Eby set to kick to punt from the 25.
And they ran very successfully before the fake reverse.
Eby's punt is going to be taken by Brannock at the 31, and you have to admire this young man's fortitude. Boy, he pulls it down with no fair catches anywhere on the field, no matter who's around him.
Courageous young man, tremendous competitor, courageous young man. And the defense is equal to the task, you know, once again. A reasonably good field position, you know, for the Hart County offense. led by the heralded Tim Johnson, the aerial rusher. Big play by Brian Rogers from Stevens County. Looked like they ran a little fullback slant outside then. Brian Rogers, senior linebacker for the Stevens County Indians, coming through.
Tracy Curry tackled 2 yards behind the line. This will bring up second down and 12, a minute 18, and the clock is ticking in the third quarter.
Chad Payne back in at middle guard for Stevens County. Doug Mayfield in a defensive tackle.
Pro set from the Hart County offense. Spurlock looking, firing, and incomplete. Nelson Hunt was the intended receiver. Keith Merritt defending for the Indians.
We've seen them run that fly pattern, you know, on several occasions, and they went to a different player. Now number 16 is back in the ball game. Boy, is he dangerous, captain of the defense.
Russell Blackwell, when you see him out there, as you said, Coach, it is dangerous because he really has put some moves on tonight. Out of the I backfield this time, 2 wideouts. The pitch back goes to Blackwell. He's looking. He's got some running room. Stevens County's defense brings him down. Before he gets to first down yardage, they'll bring him down at the 36-yard line. That'll bring up fourth down and about 7, looks like, or 6 for a first down. Make that 4th and 5.
Charles, isn't it interesting that Kevin Morris is the cornerback, but he's the long snapper on punt formation. Made the interception, now goes in and punts for all the, goes in and snaps a punt.
Jason Kraft's punt. Taken at the 37-yard line for Stevens County.
I think I heard them say that one day they would practice, and it takes a good skilled athlete to be able to throw that football backwards through your legs. And I think Kevin got that job by default one day. They were trying to practice, and somebody came up with the idea that Kevin used to do it when he was in the midget league or something, and I think he's held the job ever since then.
11 seconds left now, possibly the last play of the third quarter.
Big play, big lick up front. Oh, they're really coming hard now.
And that's the end of the third quarter. It's 14-9. Stevens County over Hart County. One more quarter of high school football action to come on TV 32.
It takes dedication and time to turn an idea into a masterpiece. The kind of idea that led Carrier to create the Infinity Gas Furnace. A furnace that's over 90% efficient with an infinite number of speeds, running faster as the weather gets cold, slowing down as it gets warmer. So quietly that while this quartet has been playing, our Infinity Furnace has been running. The Infinity Gas Furnace, simply the best you can buy, backed by a lifetime heat exchanger warranty, available only from your Carrier dealer.
The Cole Ford Lincoln Mercury, 842 East Currahee Street, is the home of the 1989 Fords, Lincolns, and Mercurys, and Ford trucks. See Gary Smith, manager, Joe Roan, or Jack Allen in sales. Contact Johnny Smith for service, Gary Wilson in parts, Darlene Johnson, Pat Thomason, and Stacy Brown in the office. Tacoma Ford Lincoln Mercury open for sales 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Service and parts department open until noon on Saturdays. All departments closed on Sunday. Tacoma Ford Lincoln Mercury, 842 East Currahee Street, is ready for you.
Coach, if you had to pick the most exciting final quarter of any game for the last game of any regular season, this has got to be it.
Well, this game could still go either way. I'm sure Coach Walker is very pleased that, that they're actually leading, but that they're even, in the ball game with a much heralded, Hart County team. But certainly, both teams have played very, very fine football here tonight.
Chip Walker looking for his receiver. And Chris Griffin not able to hang on to it. He was looking like he was going to catch it right at midfield and had open field all the way. Flag is down back at the 30-yard line.
good-looking football play.
Penalty is going to go against the Bulldogs. Roughing the passer call against Hart County. That'll put the ball right at midfield. Stevens County will take it over there, 1st and 10.
I like the play then, and the call, you know, faking it in there, looked like they're going to run the option, and then looking for him on a little throwback action, and there's a lot of running room, you know, left out there, you know, also then.
Chris Griffin, gain of about 5 yards.
For the Indians, number 24, Chris Griffin.
Ran a little inside belly then. This is something that Stevens County has traditionally ran extremely well, the power football, just faking the inside to the fullback and then giving to the second back through. One of the favorite plays of Coach Rodney Walker. Tough football play to defend. Nothing very fancy, just line up, knock them down, and get in and run it. Big play! Billy Rucker from an outside linebacker position, just knifed down through there then.
Ball is now at the 46-yard line. It's 3rd down and 7.
This is a big down for Stevens County to retain possession, and they certainly also, likewise, Charles, would like to run the clock to their advantage.
Chris Griffin. Griffin getting across the 45 down to about the 44, but not enough for the first down, so Stevens County will have to send the punting unit onto the field once again. 4th down and 4. Kevin Eby comes in. And going back at about his 10-yard line, Brian Brannick.
Very, very dangerous punt returner, along with Russell Blackwell.
Eby with a beautiful high, long kick. Being taken back at the 10. Once again, Brannick in a lot of traffic, but not calling for the fair catch. He returns it for about 3 yards.
I think the key right here is for the Stevens County defense now. Hart County defense has been so tough, you know, here in the second half. And big challenge right here for the Stevens County defense with 9:52 to go here in the ball game in this championship tilt at Herndon Stadium. And I don't believe there will be anyone leaving early in this game.
The complexion of the game will have to change drastically for that to happen. 9:40 left in the game, a 5-point lead by the Indians. Spurlock pitches to Tim Johnson. Johnson looking for room. Johnson up around the 16-yard line, a pickup of maybe 3 yards on that play.
With him being, you know, the fine runner he is, I will just imagine that Mr. Johnson will touch that ball many, many times here in the last, you know, 9 minutes and 15 seconds, you know, of this ball game.
Brannick checking out, Ken Wilson checking in. Mike Gaines and Ken Wilson, the wideouts from the I formation. Curry and Johnson behind Spurlock. And Curry gets the call. It's Curry, Tracy Curry. Curry brought down at the 36-yard line.
Great run then by Tracy Curry. Just ran a little quick trap back up to the inside then, and Hart County is in business with excellent field position here. First down.
Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. Hart County, 1st and 10. Once again, they split Gaines and Wilson. They flip-flop to opposite sides of the field this time. Johnson Tim Johnson looking for a place to go. Johnson getting about 3 yards. His initial hole was completely blocked up by the Stevens County defense, and he had to do a little slant off to the right side, still able to pick a hole and gain 3 yards.
He really does see the field, you know, real well, and got most of that yardage on his own, and I can certainly see why he's the area's, you know, leading rusher.
And Gaines both split to the top side of your screen, to the wide side of the field. They have split backs. Johnson goes in motion. Spurlock fires to Johnson, and it's a lateral, and it's a fumble, and Stevens County has the ball.
Yes, it is. It was a fumble. It was a backwards pass. It's a touchdown.
And he didn't realize he was across the goal line with the orange goal line, but he barely made it across it. Being a backwards pass like that is a lateral, and an incomplete pass, it cannot be. It has to be a fumble recovery.
It appeared to be a backwards pass. And we got what a fumble.
Certainly unusual circumstances. Heads-up play by the Stevens County defense.
Was it Antonio Martin that picked it up?
I believe so. Not sure about the number, but it was heads-up play by the defense to pick the ball up and run with it and realize that was not an incomplete pass.
We got another flag in the end zone.
Going against the Bulldogs.
If we had instant replay, we'd be able to say, but it almost appeared to be one of the double pass situations, you know, where you throw it out there and then throw it deep.
It looked like it was a halfback pass, what the play was originally supposed to be.
And with it being thrown backwards, alertly, the defensive player, Stevens County, Antonio Martin, you know, picked it up and ran it into the end zone.
You know, we've seen that play at various places this year 3 or 4 times, and it's happened this way and other ways, too, at times. Stevens County now goes ahead 21-9 over Hart County on an unusual play. 7:25 left in the game. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment with the end of this game. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning is owned and operated by Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Murray. And in the years the firm has been in business, residents of Toccoa and the surrounding area have learned that Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning is the firm on which to call. They're your dealer for Carrier, the most efficient heat pump unit on the market. This is the unit that heats in winter, cools in summer so efficiently, you'll forget you've installed it. For residential or commercial heating and air conditioning work, contact the Murrays at Toccoa Heating and Air Conditioning, Liberty Hill Road, Toccoa, phone 886-1383.
Telephones should work. Telephone companies should have people who make them work properly. Telephone companies should have quality products that work and are easy to use. Trillium Panther and STC Systems telephones that are easy to use. People who make them work. STC Systems, part of the Standard Telephone family of companies.
All STC Systems in Cornelia, 1-800-241-8026.
Fans, this is going to be an amazing finish to what has already been an amazing game. 7:25 left in this game as Kevin Eby is set to kick off for the Indians. And back
he
deep,
stroked it.
Brian Braddock takes it at the 5. Hart pulled down at the 26-yard line, 28-yard line, make that.
We'll see how inspired, this will make the Stephens County, defense.
Ran it slow in getting up as the managers and coaches go out to attend to him. Coach, who would have ever thought coming into this game tonight that anything like this would have ever occurred?
Yeah, so much diversification as far as different twists, in the ball game. Fumble recovers, picked up a fumble, pass interceptions. Actually, something interesting about that touchdown was I don't think Antonio actually realized that he had not crossed the goal line with the goal line being painted orange. I think he was so excited, or whomever the young man, I couldn't see. There was such an amazing group of things going on at one time, but he almost didn't cross the goal line down there. I believe you made mention of that.
He crossed the 5-yard line and thought that was the goal line, and he just, his forward momentum as he was making his circle to raise his hands in jubilation just carried him across the goal line. So many unusual things happening tonight at Herndon Stadium.
Well, all important, is, how well the Stephens County defense will respond. And then Hart County has so many weapons with Tim Johnson, Russell Blackwell, that they can hit you so quick with that they could be back, in a hurry in the ball game.
Spurlock firing from Michael Gaines. Gaines with a first down at the 49-yard line, almost at midfield.
And just as we mentioned Tim Johnson and some of the other people, then they throw it to to Mike Gaines, who did a fine job of receiving the football. So there's a lot of time left in this football game, and I'll guarantee you, I'm glad that, this is exciting, for the fans, because it's certainly exciting, telecast.
Russell Blackwell with the reception and close to first down yardage once again as Hart County comes striking down the field.
Well, I think they're doing what they got to do, and don't be surprised if they don't come back with a little quick hitter to Tim Johnson, who can get it in the end zone, in a hurry for you.
12 points separate these two teams right now, 21-9, the lead by the Indians. Clock is down at 6:06. Firing for Russell Blackwell once again. Indian defenders pull him down at the 35. Flags go down. Late hit against the Indians.
Late hit there, overzealous.
Clock just inside 6 minutes, 5:59. Hart County, ball spotted down now at the 19-yard line. Bulldogs in Indian territory, and they're knocking on the door.
And you can certainly see, the poise that Sonny Spurlock has shown, and you can see the senior leadership coming together, on this drive, for the Hart County Bulldogs.
Tim Johnson. Johnson heading for the goal line. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
We had mentioned that they've got so many weapons, and they just quickly brought the football down the field, and all of a sudden, just like we said, it's a new ball game.
21-15 at this point in the game. 5:39 left to go.
He has an amazing job of stopping on a dime, giving you 9-cent change, and then hitting another gear, once again.
A lot of pressure now being put on both of these defensive units as the Hart County Bulldog defense will want to stop Stephens County to get the ball back with enough time on the clock to be able to score, and Stephens County wanting to hold Hart County away from the end zone. Timeout has been taken by the Bulldogs as Sonny Spurlock comes over to talk to the coaching staff.
Well, it appears here, that they're going to go for two. That would make it, should they be successful, 21-17. 5:39 to go. A lot of time left. A lot of time left.
Probably a good time to go for two, because if you don't make the two-point conversion, or even if you do, you still have to get a touchdown. Either way, it doesn't really make any difference, except if the two-point conversion were good and Stevens County were to get a field goal, then Hart County with a touchdown could still go ahead.
Or they could fake it here.
Kick is good. The score, 21-16. It's a 5-point lead the Indians have over the Bulldogs.
Well, just as we said, they brought that football down the field in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen. Good passes, you know, Sonny Spurlock connecting on passes, you know, to Gaines and to Blackwell, aided by a late hit. But nevertheless, Tim Johnson doing a beautiful job of running the football. He can just stop so quick and then accelerate again so quick, and tremendous player.
Johnson, a good-looking runner.
5:39, and this Hart County has really shown, you know, while they're 8-1 on the year, and tremendous job that they've done this year, because they just quickly came down the field. A lot of pride.
Stevens County's scores tonight have been the result of big plays. Most of the cases, the Indians have not had long, sustained drives. So by virtue of that, Hart County looks to get the ball back at least once again. Lee Simmons temporarily dropping the ball. Simmons with a good return, though, as he gets it up to the 38-yard line.
Lee Simmons covering up the ball very, very well then. Now we'll see this Hart County defense that's just been terrific here, you know, in the second half.
And I will guarantee you, this series of downs, this defense will play inspired football.
Well, they've got the chant going from the Hart County group. Very, very strong and faithful.
Chip Walker looking. He fires. Walker looking for Marcus Riley. Riley lined up as a wide receiver that time. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10 from the 38.
Well, Stevens County realizing that Hart County, Charles, is loaded up, you know, on the defensive front against the Wishbone offense. You know, they're actually showing 9 people sometimes that wanted to try to loosen them up just a little bit. Wiley getting loose for a first down. Ball is fumbled, but after he was down. Looked like a first down for Stevens County. Great run by Jabbar Wiley then, Charles. He actually had people hanging on to him then.
Tremendous run. Clock at 4:54.
What Stevens County, you know, wants to do is try to maintain possession of the football and try to keep it. And, you know, this could be one of the most important drive of their entire football season, you know, thus far.
Well, that series of plays there ate up a full minute off the clock. And the Indians doing just what they need to. Chris Griffin getting 2 yards.
Well, all important to them is the fact that they try to retain possession of the football, because we have certainly seen the talent that Hart County has, and they're able to score so quickly, you know, with the fine quarterback play of Sonny Spurlock, and then Tim Johnson. When he touches it, he's always a threat, and he's playing, you know, with a lot of determination tonight, as is all of these Hart County players.
Marcus Dixon takes the handoff. Dixon Getting up down to the 42-yard line. It's going to be a little short of a first down. It'll bring up third and maybe a yard and a half for a first down. Sean Hancock in for the Indians also.
This is a big third down play for Stevens County right here.
Clock is ticking with 3:33. And Indians 2 yards away from retaining possession of the football. Chip Walker sets his troops down. They're showing a power wishbone offense. 2 tight ends. Looks like movement on the Stevens County offensive line. That may cost the Indians 5 yards. Is at 3:15, that all-important clock. Both teams eyeing the clock right now to see how that will affect their strategy for the rest of the game. Stevens County leading by a slim 5-point margin. 3:09 left to go. Third down and 6 for the Indians. Once again, 2 tight ends, a power wishbone offense. The pitch back goes to Marcus Dixon. Dixon, not enough for the first down as he only gets down to the 43. Hart County will get their hands on the ball once again.
Well, every tick, you know, is very, very precious. And Hart County is going to get the ball back with their very, very talented offense.
Kevin Eby set to do the punting. He's at his 43-yard line. No rush by the Hart County punt return unit.
2:17 to go.
Brian Brannock was stopped right where he caught the ball at the 15. The Hart County offense with 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. The most exciting 2 minutes in high school football coming your way.
Very fine defensive job then by Hart County.
They've got Gaines. They've got Brannock split out wide. 2 wide receivers, 2 setbacks, pro set. Spurlock looking. He pumps and fires. Gaines, and he's got it. He's heading for the goal line. Mike Gaines brought down by a touchdown-saving tackle at the 45-yard line. And look how fast Hart County has come down the field.
Well, we talked about, you know, they've got a lot of weapons, and they can go to any one of them, you know, at a time.
Once again, Gaines to the bottom of your screen. Brannock top of your screen. Looks like same play. Out of that pro set, Sonny Spurlock. He's firing under pressure. It's complete to Brannock. Brannock and the Bulldogs down at the 27-yard line, 1:38.
Great job of pass protection by the Hart County offensive line to give Spurlock time to find his receiver.
Ken Wilson checking in with the play from the sideline.
And Spurlock has really looked good, you know, the times that he's brought him down the field.
He can really fire the ball on a string. Wilson and Gaines now are your wide receivers. Back to the I formation. Curry and Johnson. Johnson gets the handoff. Tim Johnson, maybe a half yard. Clock down to 1:09 and ticking. Timeout being called by the Bulldogs with 1:06.
Well, it's 1:06 to go, and, you know, it's tough to defend when they've got so many capable receivers, Charles. Plus, as we have seen, Tim Johnson, whenever he gets his hand on the ball, he is just so determined, you know, to get it into the end zone, and so capable, you know, of getting it in the end zone.
And these two teams who have had such diverse seasons, it all comes down to 1 minute to play, a 5-point margin, and it still could go either way.
Certainly could.
The sub-region championship laying on this last 1 minute, 6 seconds of play at Herndon Stadium. And, Coach, we have seen some wild ones here. I don't think this is the wildest game that we've seen at Herndon Stadium, but it may be the second wildest game we've ever seen down here.
Well, the timeout situation is important, too. I don't know what the situation is, but the timeout situation is, likewise important. But nevertheless, it's all in the hands of Hart County, to win it or lose it, right here, depending upon, their play.
Once again, it's Gaines and Brannock. Spurlock looking. Brannock with the reception. Brannock, touchdown. Ryan Brannock, a touchdown for the Hart County Bulldogs.
Beautiful play then, and that it almost was going to be a sack, but he released that ball in just the right time, and the young man from Cook County, Georgia, that's now much to the delight of the Hartwell fans, a Hart County resident.
It's a 2-point lead. The Bulldogs over the Indians, 23-21. The first time the Bulldogs have led all night with only 58 seconds now remaining in the game. What a comeback by this Hart County Bulldog squad. Ryan Brannock taking that Sonny Spurlock pass, a 28-yard touchdown reception.
Well, they talked about, it's interesting, they talked about the young man and what a tremendous winning spirit that he had. And once he touched that football then, you could tell, that he was so determined. A great play by him then to get it in the end zone.
Stevens County now 58 seconds left on the clock. Stevens County has shown the ability for the big play tonight, but they haven't shown the ability for the long drives. Of course, they don't have time for a long drive now, but to move the ball effectively against the Hart County defense. Stevens County putting back Marcus Dixon, Lee Simmons, Marcus Riley deep. Now Chris Griffin comes into the picture deep for the Indians.
I would imagine it would probably be a squib kick or something of that nature. They're probably not going to kick it deep.
Jabbar Wiley taking it for the Indians up to the 46-yard line. Indians put it in play there. 51 seconds. A slim 2-point margin now held by the Bulldogs.
The clock is the ally of Hart County right now.
Clock is ticking, 40 seconds. Timeout has been called by the Indians. 37 seconds left on this clock. Final game of the regular season. Both these teams will be playing next week. It's still undecided as to where and who they'll be playing. It looks like at this point Hart County will be playing the winner of, which we'll know on Tuesday night, but we don't know right now, the winner of the Gainesville North Hall game. And it looks as though Stevens County would be traveling to Windermere, but there's still 37 seconds left to decide whether that's actually the fate of these two teams or not.
A tremendous comeback. Great defensive play. I think that in the second half, we still don't know which way this game's going to go, but great defensive play by the Hart County defense, in the second half.
Two wide receivers on this side of the field, a slot man. Chip Walker's firing. It's intercepted. Touchdown goes on the boards for the Bulldogs of Hart County as an interception is taken into the end zone.
Great reception, interception by Stacy Jones then. To make it 29-21. Found a way to win all year, and they
they found a way to win once again. And what an interesting and wild game this has been. Herndon Stadium just ablaze tonight with fans on both sides as they've seen their teams do some very unusual things.
Well, certainly, Hart County, I think the key in the second half has been the defense. Remember, they got a interception, by Kevin Morris, that got them down there close, and several things. But I think the defense really turned it around for them. This is not to take anything away from their offense because certainly, they met the challenge, when they had to do so.
You have to hand it to both these teams. They have really played with a tremendous amount of emotion tonight, both of them knowing that they were going to the region playoffs anyway.
Well, certainly an excellent job of preparation, on the part of both of these coaching staffs, and certainly, it would appear right here that Hart County would be the winner. But Stevens County is certainly having nothing to be, dismayed about. They're in the playoffs, and that's what's important.
Marcus Dixon picks it up. Marcus Dixon, a good run back as he's pulled down across midfield at the 49 of the Bulldogs. 13 seconds left on the clock.
Well, really, the interception by Stacey Jones was really good. Did a good job intercepting the ball, but the score really doesn't indicate, how close the ball game has been. Well-played football game. Even though, the fumbles might have been attributed to both teams, being, excited about playing the game, and that's where it's supposed to be, in a championship tilt.
Receivers on the far side of the field. Chip Walker looking, fires. Incomplete. 6 seconds still left on the clock. The Indians have time for one more play. Tremendous win at home for the Hart County Bulldogs. They've been on the road the last 3 weeks, and their fans have anticipated them coming back home. And tonight, what a turnout here at Herndon Stadium for these Bulldogs as their fans come in to welcome them home. That's the end of the game as that interception is pulled down by Hart County. What a game it's been. Hart County defeating the Stevens County Indians 30-21. We'll be back with closing comments in just a moment. You're watching high school football on TV 32.
For the past 13 years, Stovall Building Supplies has built something for themselves, a reputation. A reputation for quality building materials at fair prices with the best in service for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer. For all your building needs, lumber, new doors and windows, roofing materials, hardware items, paints and stains, plumbing supplies, and much more, come see the folks whose reputation is unmatched. Stovall Building Supplies, Mize Road, Toccoa, Georgia.
The greatest hits, the fantastic finishes, the most memorable moments in NFL history can now be yours in an all-new video cassette collection. Presenting the official NFL Films Video Cassette Collection from NFL Films, Fox Hills, and Time Life. Now you can replay the excitement of the greatest games of all time. Come face to face with the legendary linemen. Relive the high-voltage suspense of Super Bowl Sunday. It's all here, from famous passes to air support and heavy artillery. Kick off your collection with some of the toughest, most explosive players in the game. They're all part of your first video cassette. Crunch Course, at the low introductory price of just $14.99 plus shipping and handling. Feel the high-impact collisions of football and meet the men that do it best. It's all here, and it can all be yours. The official NFL Films Video Collection. Call now and bring the best of professional football into your home. Here's how to order.
Atlanta Falcons fans, call now 1-800-477-2600 to get your first video cassette, Crunch Course, at the low introductory price of just $14.99, or send 1822 to NFL Video Collection, Department 102, Box 1322, Buffalo, New York. Atlanta Falcons fans, call now 1-800-477-2600.
Coach, it was everything that we thought it would be and more as these two teams came together tonight. A tremendous display of last regular season game football action in Herndon Stadium.
It certainly was, and congratulations to Hart County, Coach Bobby Pate, you know, the entire community and the school system here on being sub-region champions from 1989. They certainly are going to represent this side of the sub-region very, very well. By the same token, Stevens County played a tremendous football game tonight. They played as well as we have seen them play this year. Hart County deserves all the credit for making a tremendous comeback that they did based on their defense, which has been one of their stalemates, you know, all during the year. I think both of these teams, you never can tell. Winder has a fine football team. Stevens will be playing them down there, a very close ball game in the early part of the season. Hart County will play host to either North Hall or Gainesville, and I am sure that both of these teams will be proud to serve this area very, very well, and this area will be very, very proud that these two teams are representing them in the region playoff.
And good luck to both these teams as they continue on in the playoff series coming up starting Friday night. That's it for this year for the TV 32 crew. And from all of us, we want to thank you for watching our telecast games this year. Our executive producer of TV 32 Sports is Roy Gaines. Our producer is Connie Gaines. Our director is Stuart Gaines. Our technical director is Kim Gaines. Our cameraman, John Arundale, and the sideline cameraman, John DeFore. For Coach Mac Poss, this is Charles Head bidding you good night, and we hope you will join us next year on high school football on TV 32.
It's beginning to look a lot like this.
Time Life Music presents the Treasury of Christmas. Over 1 million sold.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Now,